All right, we're rolling. We're rolling, Jeff.
All right, rock and roll.
All right. Welcome to Synthetic Oil Protection. I'm your host, Eben. Jeff here.
I'm Jeff Lockett. How we doing?
And Jeff is a master technician. So really, really cool to have Jeff to be a part of the channel. And he's actually going to be answering your questions today on tires, TPMS, tire pressure monitoring system. And we're going to be talking about nitrogen in tires. Is it good? Is it worth it? You know, what is nitrogen in tires? So we're going to be going through all that. Now Jeff is diligently schwitzing away on his screen. He's getting everything all dialed in.
Yeah, we are.
But here in a second, we're going to go ahead. Nope.
Okay.
We have a delinquent spectator. It's someone we have to keep under wraps. But now we're okay. We're going to be okay.
All right.
So happy 4th of July, first and foremost.
Yeah.
Wanted to make sure the intro was good, but now we're bringing in the colors like the blue, the red, and the white. You know, red, white, blue. And today we're going to be entertaining you today. We're here at the district here in Henderson. Really nice out here. Happened to stop here, get a little cappuccino. And about every 5 minutes, we're going to answer 3 people's questions. So if you have a question for us, leave an answer right now in the comments. Once Jeff gets dialed in about 5 minutes, we'll start answering all your questions.
Yes.
So if you have any questions on tires, Amsoil products, maintenance on cars, preventative maintenance, protection, you want to protect your rubbers, your plastics, your motor oil, transmission, differential, no matter what it is, just ask us. And I'm going to be sitting here eating my creamy breve cappuccino.
Okay.
Breve. Half cappuccino. It's a half and half cappuccino. That's talking in English. And then this is the accents. If cappuccino.
Okay, there we go.
Oh my God.
I got us up. We're
Jeff's
drinking
got us.
cappuccino. We're gonna set that right there.
Beautiful.
Gonna open this.
Jeff's a mastermind.
We're gonna take this. We're gonna go like this, and we're gonna drop that.
This cappuccino. But so yeah, so if you have any questions, just start doing as many questions as you can. Let me hear what you have to say, and we're gonna go ahead and answer them in about 2-3 minutes.
Cool. Let's see here.
Hopefully you're having loads of fun barbecuing today and doing everything in between.
There we go.
Yep.
We got some live chat. Oh, I got chat on both of them. So
Jeff's got us on both.
Yeah. My video quality is
Looks
dropping
good.
out just a little bit, but
All right.
we'll be okay.
All right.
Because you know what happens? That re-uploads later.
Yeah. You're right.
Okay.
So yeah, let's see if we got any questions here.
All right.
Top chat.
There we Okay. Cool.
We got some thumbs up going. That's good.
We're up and going then.
Got some great people.
Cool. Let's see. Okay, 2 minutes still live. You guys, we tricked you coming in a little early. That's okay. Hi, hon. Wife just gave me a heart. I'm gonna give 2 hearts back.
So Jeff's still getting warm. We're slowly breaking him in here. He's getting used to all this camera stuff. He's doing a really good job, actually. Thanks, Jeff.
No problem.
Really
I feel
good.
like we got a good little thing going on here.
We do.
I get excited every week. I get excited to do this show. Pretty stoked about that.
Yeah, and nothing's gonna stop us from doing it, even if it's a holiday.
Holiday.
you
Look,
know.
look. We're totally chill mode.
Yep.
I got my nice, Havana Nights T-shirt on. My, my little, we call them wife beaters. It's okay. That's just what they're called.
And for me, I should just take my shirt off. It's so hot out here. It's like 100 degrees.
It's barely 99. That's what it
Barely
says.
99.
So okay, so we're here. We're up and running. I've got all my chats open. It's time to start. Yeah.
Yeah. So we
It's
don't
time
have
to
any
start the
questions
show.
yet, but
Nothing yet. We'll
Jeff,
just.
so tell us a little bit about tires. If you're new to the channel, and your first time here, you want to learn about this car stuff, definitely tap the subscribe button. You'll be able to come back, watch it later. And if you love it, give it a thumbs up. Helps out the channel.
Give it a thumbs up. You know, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. Share back and forth. I already have a list of, I believe I have 16 people already that has liked and shared our videos from the last, a few days ago. We did our giveaway, and we've already had 15 likes and shares on my side. How many have you had?
I've had about, God, 5 or 6.
So we're getting up there. So we hit that 20 mark. We talked about that 3 weeks ago. We talked about hitting the 20 mark. We hit the 20 mark, man.
All right.
So
we're good.
What that does for me in my mind is that steps up. I'm gonna say we're gonna step up second prize. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
No, you know what? Let's step up third prize. Second prize is still pretty damn good. And if you guys, Julio von Matterhorn says
right.
GVR, which is where we're at. We're at GVR, Green Valley Ranch.
Hey,
This
Julio.
is the district.
Thanks for commenting. I appreciate it.
He said the good fireworks will start here later. He does not sure what time. I do know I'm going to a place tonight, and at 9:15 is when the strip fireworks show. So I'm going to be up on a secret vantage point in the valley, top secret. And I'm going to watch the entire strip's fireworks. I'm excited.
Hopefully they'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know about Vegas,
It's windy every 4th of July.
it's very windy, and it's the humidity is about 0.001%.
Yeah.
And just a snap of the fingers, you can have a whole house set ablaze.
Yeah.
In 18 minutes flat, you can have a 3,600 square foot home
Yeah.
totally done in
Gone.
18 minutes
Toasted.
flat.
So, public PSA, public safety announcement. Today's the 4th of July. Eben, hold your hands out for me. We're counting. Each of us have 10 and 10.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
After tonight's over, everybody watching here better have 10 and 10. I'm going to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Watch where you're putting your fingers.
Keep it safe.
Keep them protected.
Yeah. A couple of burns, not a big deal. But more than a couple of burns, and then we've got issues. So.
Yep. Yep. So, any good questions with tires yet? Just start digging in.
Okay, what do you have for cleaning interior? Tim from Nova Scotia.
Thanks, Tim, for
You know what? I'll give you a quick and dirty on that. Okay, I got a mechanic special. So once in a while, a mechanic will get in your car and there'll be a grease spot or something like that. Okay. That being said, we have to be able to get that out really quickly, really effectively. If you take a clean cotton cloth and a can of brake parts cleaner, okay?
Yep.
Brake clean. Spray some brake clean. You wipe it off real quick. This only works on carpet. Don't use it on vinyl or leather because you can just wipe that off. And then as far as paint is concerned, if you have any grease or tar or anything like that, WD-40, amazingly enough, does the same thing. So, Tim from Nova Scotia, I hope that helped out. So let's get on our topic now.
Yeah, let's do it.
So tonight's topic, we are talking about tires, treads, TPMS, and nitrogen. Okay, so if we have anybody here who enjoys comedy, do you think we have viewers that enjoy comedy?
Oh, I'm sure we
Okay,
do.
so my favorite joke, and Google it if you don't get it. Somebody comes to my shop, they got the little green valve stem caps on their car, and they say, "Hey Jeff, all I can put in my tire is nitrogen." I said, "I got a deal for you. Without charging you $1, not $1, I can actually give you 70% nitrogen all day for free."
Oh my God.
Yeah, you know how I did that?
How?
Atmosphere, 70% nitrogen.
That's good.
So
I like it.
So here's the deal, okay? They're not doing what you think they're doing. You think they're buying these freaking 1,000-gallon tanks of nitrogen.
That's Jeff's first drop today. He'll
Yeah.
have another drop at the bar later.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what they do is they take this machine, the machine's called the scrubber, and the scrubber actually takes CO2 and oxygen and out, and it concentrates the nitrogen. I was in aviation, and nitrogen actually transfers over. I actually used to have to service tires with nitrogen. We had several things in the military that use nitrogen. One of the great things about nitrogen is it does not expand, and I'm going to say does not, minimal expansion and contraction from heat, from altitude, barometric pressure, cold. It really doesn't fluctuate a whole lot, to where air Air expands and contracts. Carbon dioxide, I do believe that does a little bit, but nitrogen by itself does not. So, yes, we had to use them in helicopter tires. Yes, they use them in your Boeing 747 and 777 tires. A few other cool little things get nitrogen, but that's because they're flying at 20,000 feet. You know, they're going from ground level to 20,000. Now, I have seen some vehicles that require a lot fewer fill-ups in their tires because of the nitrogen, but just so you guys know, I think I read something that it increases your fuel economy over the lifetime of the tires by maybe 3%. Not bad, 3% is a good number, but what are you paying for the nitrogen service? And does the nitrogen service come with free top-ups? If it's convenient for you, they throw the nitrogen in for free and you get free top-ups, go ahead. William, is this still live? William we are still live.
We're 100% live. Thanks, William, for being a part of the channel and always commenting, asking lots of great questions. I really appreciate it. And I wanted to tap into a little element with this nitrogen stuff.
Yeah.
I actually used to swim in that stuff every day. I used to work at a Honda dealership, and I used to get all the people come in with the TPMS light on.
Okay.
And it's this light, this yellow light that just glares at you. And it just, they can't help but to get completely mind blown with it. They're like, oh my God. So I got this car last week, and this light came on. Do you know what that means right there? And I go, yeah, it's just a tire pressure thing. And actually with the Hondas, they're very sensitive. So if it goes plus or minus like 1 PSI difference between tires, so say you take some hard left turns, you get a little more heat into one tire or rotor, you can actually get that difference and it'll pop on, and it's just all goofy. But basically the TPMS thing that's hilarious is they do nitrogen at the Honda dealership and everybody's all scared. They're like, oh, can I put regular air in here? And I'm like, sure, it's fine. And you know, the other thing is too, I've had many people come in, especially a lot of travelers, and they actually don't like the nitrogen. And the specific reason they didn't like it was because, you okay, Joe?
We're good.
All right. The reason they didn't like the nitrogen is because it's a smaller molecule than oxygen, and it actually rises above it. So oxygen's heavier, the nitrogen's lighter, and basically...
Nope. It's the other way around.
It's the other way around?
Nitrogen is a larger molecule and it's heavier.
All right. Well, it's weird, but I had people's tires leak a lot more, and they would leak the nitrogen, and they'd come back like every 2-3 weeks, and they would, honest to God, they'd be like, yeah, I just put air in these tires a little bit ago, and they're already low, and honest to God, the nitrogen just leaks out more. Yeah. I don't know why.
You know,
Have you had that at all?
I haven't had that experience, but here's the thing. You're getting cars in at below 36,000 miles, so that's an initial fill. Who knows if a guy or a robot put the tires on? Who knows who serviced it with the nitrogen if it was done? You got dealer prep, right, where you get the car in off the truck. They check all the fluids. They make sure everything's torqued. I don't know. Do they service the tires, or is that just they're rolling off the truck?
They don't service them.
So there could be a lot of factors to that. As far as I see cars after they've been owned at least 10 or 15,000 miles. So if they were having that problem, they got it solved. It does. It suffers from less contraction and expansion. But here's the thing. You're paying for it. You got air free everywhere. And if your tire's leaking, the thing you were asking about the top-up, somebody came to me one time and said, I heard if I put air in from a standard compressor with the nitrogen, it's going to explode. If I remember science at all, nitrogen is fairly inert. Not completely inert, but the temperatures required to bond nitrogen to something are pretty friggin' high. And sitting there squirting air inside of a tire, that'd be fun if that caused an explosion, but it doesn't. So if your tire's flat and you have nitrogen, let's just put something in there, because you get what's called heat rings on the side of the tires. When your tire runs flat, the sidewall stretches down and you have a lot more flex as the tire goes around. Your sidewall's this tall. When it gets to the bottom, it's compressed. So basically you're sitting there and going like that. Well, that's causing heat and friction, And what it's doing, it's actually grinding the inside of the sidewall. So as a technician, when I pull off the tire to go do a patch or something like that, inside that tire, there's going to be all this little rubber dust. And at that point, if I find rubber dust inside your tire, I've got to give it the old taps. It's done. Damna parte, Espiritu Santo, that's it. You're going to be buying a new tire. I'm sure you can find a place that'll patch any tire you ask them to, possibly. But yeah, not likely.
Hilarious, Jeff.
That's crazy. Okay, so William E. I still use the flashlight that I won from you.
Ooh.
Awesome.
Thanks, William.
And he also conferred with me. That's crazy. It's not going to blow. I believe there was somebody. Who did we send the hamburger press to?
Oh, we sent it to.
Because I know that I believe I sent that to Texas, and I made sure that it was delivered yesterday.
Tony? Is it Tony?
I think it was Tony.
I think it's Tony.
So I made sure that was delivered for you yesterday. I put priority on that. So
Thanks, Jeff.
when you get a chance, please send us that picture of the burger. Don't care if it's made out of ground carrots or ground beef.
Yep.
Show us a picture of that burger.
Yep, and then a little shout out to James Myers. James won the $100 gift card to Jeff's Garage, and that's our #1 prize.
Yep.
And that $100 gift card is going to be upgraded to $200 soon. So as the channel grows, we're going to start increasing the giveaway to where it's going to be just completely nutty.
I mean, we are going to get to the point where this giveaway is going to be $1,000.
Yes.
Without an issue. We are going to be stoked to give you $1,000 a month.
And gift card, whatever you want from
Yeah.
Jeff's Garage, you name it. So now, Jeff, what about racing? Is it good to have nitrogen in a race tire?
Absolutely.
Then it's good,
Now, yeah, if we're talking about racing, then we do have a question from Julio on
Let's
this
do
one.
Julio.
Julio
Let's do
first.
it.
Senor Julio, I've heard it's better to fill tires with air when they're cold. Is this true? If they're warm, you get a false PSI pressure reading. Okay, so here we go. First off, when you are doing your tire pressure, the first thing to do is you make sure you get yourself a digital gauge. The digital gauges, you can pick them up. There's one made by Slime. I know there's one made by Gorilla. You can pick them up at AutoZone for like $8 to $12.
Oh my God, that's it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Cheap
All
as
right.
hell. So you
Digital
take this
gauge.
digital gauge, it's got a little PSI readout. As soon as you turn it on, it is now calibrated to 0. Calibrated to your current barometric air pressure. Perfect, because tire air ups at lower altitude and higher altitude work out to be a little different. Boyle's Law and shit, science and stuff.
Yeah.
So that being said, fill it up. Never trust a gauge unless you have. I've got a gauge made by Snap-on Tools. I don't know if you're going to want to buy it. It's $165 for an air gauge, digital. But when I fill up your tire and it says you have 33.5, you have 33.5 in that tire. There's no question about it. So you're asking about the different temperatures. Back on the topic. So you fill it up, and it's 30 degrees outside. Well, Boyle's Law says something in the ballpark of you fill it at 30 degrees and you put 30 pounds in there, you gain about 1 pound for every 10 to 12 psi or 10 to 12 degrees. So by the time you get from the coldest to the hottest, the tire pressure is actually going to be higher. Yeah, it's
3 to
going to
5.
be about 3 to 5 pounds higher. So the whole summer or winter air thing, it's a joke, but it's not. Okay, it's a funny thing to say. Get your, do you have your winter air changed out for summer air even? How are you driving on those tires? What
I
are
gotta
you
go check
kidding
my
me?
tires.
Yeah, that's not safe for anybody. Okay, so as we know, there is no summer air, there is no winter air. It's a funny little joke. But the thing is, you do have the temperature fluctuations. So we're sitting here at 100. We're going to air up your tires today. Tomorrow, it's 30 degrees. I don't know why it just happened that way. Your tire's going to look really, really flat. And true that it is. Nitrogen would solve that problem. But our temperature swings here in Vegas, 40 degrees, 4 PSI. It's really not that big of a deal. Swing by the shop. I'll air up the tires for free.
Got it.
5400 East Tropicana. Boom.
Express Lube and Auto Repair.
Yeah. Find us on Facebook, Google. All right, so
some more good
we've
stuff.
got more.
Chance.
Chance.
Hey, Chance, how's it going? Happy 4th of July.
Oh boy, here we go. Cleaning with the finished cleaning his throttle body with the power foam and changed the transfer case fluid in his 2012 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited with the multi-vehicle ATF fluid today. Hashtag Amsoil. Rock on, bro.
Thanks.
Good job. Thank you for telling us about it too. Let us know your next tank of fuel. Let us know what your fuel economy is. Feel a little bit more snap in the throttle, because you really should. If I'm correct, the 2012 has the 3.6 liter. If you would text me back and verify, the 3.6 liter is absolutely paramount to do that power foam, and I wouldn't do it any less than every 30,000 miles, because we had talked about before the direct injection motors.
Yeah.
And the direct injection motors have a problem with the carbon buildup. So perfect. Good job.
And then Chance, if you're on Facebook, definitely friend me and do a share with your results.
Yes, it is.
And
3.6
awesome.
V6.
Yeah, do a share with your results and tag Eben's giveaway.
Yeah.
And you'll be in the giveaway for this month.
Absolutely. That's awesome. I'm stoked. All right, so let's see here. That was that one, and he did verify that we have the 3.6. William E. I live in San Diego, California. I heard the state well cannot mail power foam Amsoil. Okay, there is a way, I guarantee, and it probably has to do with ground shipments. You've got you have restrictions on air and restrictions on certain things, but standard ground freight, as far as I understand, and I know somebody who could throw a comment in the Facebook side for me. Let me know if you can send that ground. But basically, it's ORMD, which is organic materials, some blah blah blah.
Yep.
Caught it, didn't lose that time. So yeah, if not, I guarantee you there's going to be a place to get Amsoil. You're in San Diego. There's got to be a distribution center in San Diego. That's not a small spot.
San Diego is going to be covered by the Vegas distribution center.
Oh.
And believe it or not, this is crazy, Jeff.
Yeah.
If they order before 12 p.m., it'll be there next day with free shipping.
Wow. What's the minimum order on that one? I thought it was like $100, right?
It's just $100.
Cheese and rice. So if you do a bottle of Power Foam, a bottle of PI, your Signature Series oil change, oil filter, you have your entire oil change shipped to you with no shipping charge. And I'm going to be honest with you, shipping, when you're talking about shipping liquids, most liquids fall in the ballpark of about 8 pounds a gallon. That's only 4 quarts. That's 8 pounds. Add another quart. We're adding some more. Add the can of foam, add all that stuff. You're shipping a 12, 13 pound box for free. And I don't know if you've ever tried to do that before, but that's like $15 in shipping.
Exactly. And
so you're saving a shit ton.
Yeah, and you're only doing the one oil change a year, and you don't have to do all these extra reorders. So when you order, you'll order like 3 bottles of PI, and this is good for 4,000 miles. And basically all you do is put it in, cleans the fuel injectors, cleans the valves, takes deposits out of the combustion chamber.
Yeah.
So you do it all in one shot, and then let's just say you're on a budget, and you're really tight. You can do the Amsoil OE, and you can still be around inexpensive oil change. Grab a neighbor nearby.
Yeah.
Boom, snap in another oil change, and you'll be at the $100 and
easily
to go.
Easily.
Yeah.
We're blowing up here.
You got a lot of good comments. Thanks.
Blowing up.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
What's our next one, James?
Our next one on James.
Hey, James.
Darn out and about, can't get a good signal to watch, but can make you comment, LOL. I can't wait to hear you guys have to say about nitrogen in tires. I have that in my tires, and I want to know if it's good. Okay, so recap, I'm going to put this directly to James.
Yeah, James, go ahead. Yeah.
Nitrogen in tires is good. Don't pay for it. See if you can get it for free. I mean, Free Spice makes everything taste better.
Free Spice.
Free Spice. You put some Free Spice in your food. It tastes. It could be a $1 hamburger, but that's the best $1 hamburger ever.
And Free Spice is coupled in with some of Jeff's quick and dirty tutorials.
That's right. Absolutely.
I love those quick and dirty tutorials.
So we, you put the nitrogen in there. You don't pay anything. It's cool. It will make your tires last a little bit longer. If you have to pay for it, just get regular air. Okay, not a big deal. All right, so wow, we are just blowing up.
Next one. We're on to the next one.
All right, this one is going to go from Melmo VQM35, which is a motor identifier for Nissan.
All right.
So VQM35, I believe, is the one that they put in the Pathfinders.
All right.
Good motor. So, been hearing pros and cons about engine flush. Is it really safe to flush your engine? If I've been using Amsoil Signature Series, which has detergent additives, is that even needed? From Mel in San Diego. All
Great
right,
question,
so,
Mel.
I got firsthand experience. I do flushes all the time. I mean, within the last month, I've gone through more than 2 cases. That's 24 of the Amsoil engine flushes, and it only does good. Reference the video where it stopped my oil burning in my car. And for the second half of your question, second half of the question, should you continue to do it even with Amsoil? Absolutely, because there's areas of the motor that the oil does not touch, and varnish can still build up. Even though we have a wonderful product in there, you don't know what contaminants are getting past your air filter and stuff like that. And actually what happens with this chemical, you can imagine it's a vapor. When it hits that oil, it starts evaporating, and it actually moves this vapor around. So the vapor goes up, it even gets burned by the combustion chamber a little bit, because it sucks through the PCV system. So yes, even if you're using Amsoil, honestly, I'm gonna throw this out there. I don't know what the procedure or policy is, but if you're using Signature Series, do it at every oil change. You just went 12,000 miles. You got all that stuff in there, hopefully. And at 12,000 miles, I'm gonna do an engine flush. I'm gonna do an oil change. I'm gonna throw an air filter in there. That will have been my probably 4th bottle of PI, right? Because I'm doing it every 3 grand.
Yeah. Yep.
So I mean, 12,000 miles. That's nothing to do that maintenance.
And then especially the flush on a diesel engine. To me, it's like I won't even do an oil change now without the flush.
Oh yeah,
because
the soot buildup.
The soot buildup's unreal, and the oil comes out black like paint. So if you basically get paint here, you touch it on your face, you have swipes of paint all over your body, and it comes out like honey at the end. And when you put the flush in, when it comes out at the end, it comes out like water almost.
Yeah.
And the flush is a must on any diesel engine every single time. As far as a car, it's up to you, but I agree with Jeff. You don't know what deposits could have gotten in there with how good your air is cleaning, your air filter.
Well, and let's say it's your first oil change with Amsoil and you're putting the Signature Series in. Well, you did that first flush and you got out as much as you could. But being that the Amsoil has the good detergents in there, it's going to continue to clean. So your next oil change and flush is just as important as the first one, I feel.
Yeah.
So yeah, just do it every time. It's not an expensive bottle. It's not a long service to do, and you know what? It is not going to harm your motor. Now, if your motor's making horrible noises, I'm sorry. Amsoil is not going to take care of horrible noises.
But, yeah, exactly. Yep.
All right.
On to our next one.
Melmo said thank you. He's down a little bit. All right. So William E said okay, thanks. Babs, that's my wife. She's gonna check on. Check on the shipping cost for us, so she'll probably put this back up.
Awesome. Thanks, Babs.
All right. So why is Amsoil so expensive for a quart when all others are 100% synthetic but don't last as long? I think you kind of answered your own question right there.
Yep.
They are 100% synthetic, but their engineering isn't to the point where they trust going 15,000 miles. Mobil 1 used to have it. They don't. I think they have a 15,000 mile protection, but they used to have a 25,000 mile protection.
Yes.
I don't know about that. And to be fair, Mobil 1's been passed up like 6 times already.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
nothing really to go on about
nothing
that.
special. Yeah, that's pretty quick and dirty. Let's see here.
The dirtier the better.
That's
it
right.
doesn't show the dirt. Just remember.
All right.
That's why I drink my coffee black.
Melon, let's see.
If I get dirt in
here.
it, you can't see it. So yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay, blacked out S550.
Hey, thanks for coming back.
Can the PI performance be used more often than the 4,000 mile recommendation?
Of course.
You can. I'm going to say this from the mechanic standpoint.
Of course.
When I do a set of spark plugs, I can tell what you've done. Your spark plugs tell me a story. I check every single one I pull out. I can tell if you're burning oil. I can tell if you're running lean, rich. I can also tell if you use too many additives in your fuel. It turns specific colors. You can even tell if you have a blown head gasket in some cases. Don't go over the 4,000 miles. Do it every 4. You're going to be happy right that way. Plus, at some point, it's overdoing it.
Yep, and then on marine applications or any type of stationary engines, if you're just idling, you can do it every 100 hours. So basically, you're just getting rid of all that carbon, and it's just, you're gonna run so much better. If you have any pinging, knocking, it's gonna help get the carbon deposits out, so your compression ratio is back to normal, so you don't have all that junk in there, and just great.
So, all right, let's get through these and we get back on tires. Okay. Amsoil engine flush, oil filter is great. Did on two. Okay, so we got a little byplay there. Cool. Thank you guys for helping each other out too. That is really appreciated. Thank you guys. Great info. Happy 4th. And then, all right. So Chance Ragsdale put, get a K&N air filter. They are washable. They use filter cleaner, and they are to be cleaned every 15,000 or 50,000 miles. Okay, Chance. This is where you and I have a mild disagreement, and that's okay. I don't recommend K&N filters on newer vehicles, especially the newer vehicles that have the dry intakes.
Oh, all right.
And a mass airflow sensor. Those are two limiting conditions. First off, let's go with the mass airflow sensor. So many people, more often than not, over oil those filters. They just spray it like they're hosing that son of a gun off.
Yeah.
It is I'm going to pretend it's the same filter that's in your truck. So you got this cone filter, right,
Yep.
for a Ford, about this big,
Yep.
about that big around. That's done.
That's it.
That's all you do.
Yeah, so basically you do it from a foot away, and you don't go over the same place twice.
Yeah.
So you clean it and you just do it. And I have a video I did on it a while back. But given you do it correctly, they're fine. But what Jeff is saying is there's so many ways you can screw up.
Yeah.
For the average person that's not a car expert, it's not really worth it. I get that. You
And
know.
so here's the thing. Now we're going on to the next topic. The next topic of that is that oil, if it's over oiled, let's go what's going to happen.
All right,
First thing that's going to happen is going to get oil contamination on your mass airflow sensor. We're going to go into science mode real quick. Mass airflow sensor, it has two coils. One coil detects ambient air temperature. The other coil is a heated resistor. They pass electricity through the resistor. Based off the ambient air temperature and the speed that the resistor cools off, it calculates how many grams a second that the car is breathing. Okay? Math and stuff.
All right, I like it.
So let's cover that resistor with a film.
All right.
Ambient air temperature is going to be ambient air temperature. The film isn't going to stop that. But the film is going to change how that resistor cools. It will insulate it.
Wow.
It thinks it's hotter. So if it thinks it's hotter, it's going to lean out your fuel mixture.
Oh boy.
It might even lean it out to the point where you get a stumble or you have issues accelerating.
Wow.
All right, so now we screwed up our mass airflow. Let's finish screwing up our car, okay? All right, so we have one of the direct injection systems. For example, I'm going to use who's our friend?
I love this guy. He's hilarious. That's good stuff, Jeff.
All right, so here we go. I was just told to move my thingy. There we go. Okay, that was the 3.6 liter in the 2012 Jeep. Okay, your injectors go directly into the cylinder, so you have your spark plug and injector right there. It does not pass by the valve. So now we're going to take all that soot and shit, and we're going to stick that. It's like getting tarred and feathered. First, you sprayed all that crap in there and tarred your intake like you don't like it. Then you took, we'll even go one better. Let's go antiquing. You know what antiquing is?
What is it?
Antiquing's wonderful. It's where you spray somebody down and you take a handful of flour and just right in their face. It's fantastic. It's too much fun. So that being said, you plan a practical joke on your engine, but tomorrow you're going to ask him to take you to work. How do you think he's going to feel about that shit?
You're right, Jeff.
Right,
You're right.
exactly.
You're right. And you know, I actually had a air-aid oiled filter, cold air intake on my Corvette, and it worked like a dream. But what I did do is I was very cautious on oiling. I followed the procedure exactly, and it really worked good. And then I actually cleaned it out here in the desert. I did it every 12,000 miles.
Yeah.
Because the dust out here is tremendous.
You know, a lot of the things I see when I get those filters is, you know, we showed you what the oil filters look like after use.
Look at
they
this.
start to squeeze in right at the center. Okay, now air filters do the same thing, and I see a lot of times on the K&N filters where
good.
it's collapsing in on itself. The K&N filter collapses, and now those pleats are closer together. So now your car is trying to suck air through a Coke bottle. It's just just made your car an asthmatic. So, what happens when it can't breathe correctly? Even, do you know what the car's response is to any problem with the engine?
Pulls timing? I don't know.
No, adds fuel.
Adds fuel.
Adds fuel.
So it
That's
doesn't
why
burn up.
the first thing you can do to check if something's wrong with your vehicle, write down your fuel mileage off of every tank.
Yep.
And fill up as close as you can to the same percentage or the same mileage, so you can track how much fuel you're getting per tank. You know, if you get a 30 mile per gallon car, and you know that's 30 miles per gallon, just like you knew that Lexus was, what were you getting on that Lexus?
Just getting 32 highway.
Yeah, 32 highway. When that drops to 28, you've got something going on. There is.
Yeah.
Either A, it's time to change your oil, time to change your air filter, your fuel filter, and all that kind of stuff.
If you guys
So-
just arrived to the channel, I saw we have like 18 people now. Cheers and happy 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, we came off topic a little bit. We got the PI local wondering if you'll be there. Julio, I will not be there tomorrow, but you can hit me up on Monday or Saturday. Saturday, I'll be there with bells on. Blacked out 550, bottle worked in my car with 218,000 miles on the clock. Hell yes! Along with the 530 Signature Series oil, and your average mileage went up 25, 26 to 28 to 29. Rock on. That's what we like to hear.
That's about 5 to 8%, and that's normal.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's really
But that's
excellent.
awesome.
That is
Yeah.
excellent.
And it's a blacked out 550. You know, Dan, if I had your car, my foot wouldn't be out of the throttle. I don't know if I'd get better than 2 miles a gallon.
I tell you
I would
what,
struggle.
I tell you what, I've had some seat time in an S550 Mercedes, and I tell you what, I really enjoy those cars.
I had an S.
I have a thing for the Mercedes now. I'm not into being a player and showing off how big my you-know-what is or having a big watch or whatever. I'm not going to show you that, but I tell you what, I'm not into the name brand, but those S-classes really are great.
They're legit. They're
They
legit.
are good cars.
So, as far as let's see here, GDI, how does PI cleaner help to prevent carbon buildup in GDI engines? Okay. Good question, Devontae.
Hey, Devontae. What's up?
So this was what we were talking about before. Any of those direct injection motors, that's where the power foam comes in. You need to power foam that engine.
Yes.
And use your PI, because the tips of that injector will get combustion material on it because it is in the combustion chamber. So use your PI, but also you're gonna have to, and I'm gonna tell you, I have to every 10,000 miles, is use the power foam.
Power foam. There it is.
And it's super easy. We got 2 videos on it. 2 videos on the power foam.
And I'll
We got
put a link to that right here in the
Yeah.
corner. Yep, right there. You
Right
got
there.
it. Yep.
In this spot.
Boom. Yep.
Shaboo-boo. Okay. All right, so guys,
Boo boo.
back on tires. Okay, so tires. Here's what we got going on. We covered nitrogen. Couple of things. We're going to cover tire compounds. Okay, that's going to be a real quick one. There are a couple of tire compounds. You have silicone and rubber mixed. Then you have natural rubber. 2 different applications. So colder parts of the country, they actually have a different tread compound than they do in warmer parts of the country, because you want the same amount of stick to the road no matter where you're at. So if you go and you're in the upper northeast, they got this brand of tire called Blizzaks. Blizzaks are wonderful tires, and what they do is we look at our West Coast tires and we have our treads cut. Now imagine those treads, inside those treads having other micro treads cut.
Huh.
So yeah, it's a really interesting thing, but basically as the tire goes, it spreads out and you get a lot more surface area grip even in between the treads. Wonderful stuff. Out here in Vegas, those natural rubber tires, you're going to want to look at the tread wear rating and the temperature rating and make sure you're matching your tires to the area. I'm gonna throw a name drop out there. I use General Ultimax RTs. General Ultimax RTs have a wonderful tread wear rating. They're a silicone compound. They have alignment indicators on the tires, so if you're out of alignment a little bit, these little buttons start to wear down. You can see they're quiet. Oh man, are they quiet? And I've had them last me as long as 4 years.
That's incredible.
A set of tires in Vegas lasting 4 years.
It's a big deal.
That's a big BFD right there.
Yeah.
So,
And another couple things on tires. I've had some different tires on my Corvette. I had Michelin's run flats. They're pretty rough. It was too much of an all-weather tire. You know, if you're going to have a performance car, just go with a summer tire.
Yeah.
And you know, and then I went to these Toyos. They're called Toyo T1 Proxa Sport. It's a super soft tire. It's about a 250 tread wear.
Wow.
250 tread wear.
Sticky.
Yeah, super sticky.
That's sticky.
And it's so soft and quiet. And you know, just amazing what the tire can do. And as far as width, you know, another kind of myth that people get into is wide tires have more grip, and they really don't have any more grip, but what they can have is more stability.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you have the smaller sidewall, you don't have all that tweaking and twisting.
Yeah.
But now the technology is so good with the tire construction, they're getting them so light, you know, 21-pound tire, and they have them to the point where the rigidity is, it stretches, but it doesn't go beyond a certain point.
Yeah, and it just grips.
It just
grips, yeah.
And I had it to the point on my C5 between my sway bars, shocks, and tires on the regular street. I was pulling about 1G on the skid pad, which
Wow.
is like
that's really good is what that is.
Yeah, that's like OEM McLaren 720S, OEM, you know, Ferrari mid-engine stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with a little bit thicker tire, you have a little more feel, a little more stretch, a little more give. So I always like a 40 mil tire. Some of these new cars have like a 25 or 30.
Blacked out's running 305, 30, 20. Wow.
All right.
Nice. So
He's doing the nittos. Good
so
nittos.
we'll give you a real quick thing on tire size. Eben.
Let's do tire size and also how much wheel horsepower is on the blacked out 550.
Please.
What's the wheel
please.
horsepower?
We'll put that up in a minute.
All right.
All right. So tire size, common misconception. What do the numbers mean? Eben, what's the first number on a tire? Do you know?
So the first number is the width, and that's in millimeter.
Perfect.
All right.
Second number.
Second number is the depth, the thickness
In.
millimeter.
No.
No. What is
That's
it in?
the biggest misconception.
What is it in?
Used to be. It's an aspect ratio.
Oh, it used to be millimeter.
You're
Now
right.
it's an aspect. When did they change it?
80s.
In the 80s. All right.
When we started doing everything metric and you couldn't find like a 13x9 tire. 13x9 was a 9-inch or a 9-inch wide or whatever. I don't know.
13-inch rim.
Yeah, 13-inch rim. Whatevs. The new tires, so the 305, 435 horsepower.
It's stock.
And it's stock. Fantastic. So he's got that or more. But so the aspect ratio, his 305s, it is now 30% as tall as it is wide. So if you're 305 millimeters, that's going to put you just under, puts right about 80 millimeters tall.
Yeah.
From the bead to the center of the tire, not to the edges. You're measuring from the plane of the bead to the plane at the top of the tire.
The
right.
tread.
And then obviously the third number we all know is rim size.
All right.
So simple. So when you want taller tires, you need to go off the aspect ratio. I always like to put a little bit bigger tires on my car because I'm just a little bit redneck, and that's okay. I'm all right with that, Eben.
I like it, Jeff.
So
You're real.
Yeah, you got to. My Mustang, and against what Eben says, for me this is purely aesthetic, but I know that it's not correct. I got some fat tires on the back.
Oh yeah.
I got about an inch of overhang on each side of my rim because something about having that little tubbed out look with like the drag car, I like that.
Looks good, yeah.
But you have to run lower air pressure. They are going to wear out quicker because if you run high air pressure, it's not going to squat quick enough and grab pad. You're going to spin. But that's because I like screwing around. It's a toy.
You know what we got to get Jeff? We got to get Jeff a 2014
Ooh.
Shelby GT 500 with the dark blue with the white stripe. We'll get him
I
one.
can see it with the Cobra on the hood.
Yeah, we'll get him one with like 5,200 miles on it for $36,000. You can get them for maybe 26. But I was looking at them lately. 550 rear wheel torque.
That's
at
a lot.
2,200
That's a lot.
RPM stock.
That's insane.
I mean, I drove one and
fantastic.
I never actually even liked Mustangs. After that day, changed for life. I love Mustangs. I love that Mustang.
I kind of fell in love with the Fox body. That was my thing. I like the square one. and I'll have 1,000 people tell me that that's not a good Mustang, and that's just the one that I love. To each their own.
They're light though. They're good.
Yeah, they are. Oh, they're
They're
light. They're squirrely. It's a driver's car, and my exhaust sounds so good that I never turn on my stereo in that car. I
That's
refuse
incredible.
to listen to music because the engine is its own sound.
It's like being married to your car. I was to mine.
Yeah.
I lost it. I actually lost my wife.
Recently.
I lost her, and we're actually going to be doing a video and showing what happened. It was this little accident. No one got hurt, but my inside, I just...
It hurts right there, even right there. It's okay. All right, so we are running down on time. I'm running the Bridgestone Duelers, very, very nice on the Jeep. Yeah, with the white lettering on the outside.
And if you have any other questions and you just came and started watching the channel right now, ask us a question. In 5 minutes, we'll answer all your questions.
Yeah. So, okay, TPMS, you were talking about the little orange light that illuminates. So back in 1990 something, Ford Explorers were called Ford Exploders because people were airing up the tires above what the manufacturer said. If I recall correctly, the manufacturer specification for those tires was like 28 psi to 30 psi, and people look at the sidewall and say, oh, maximum pressure on that is 44 psi. That's what the tire can hold. But if it's, let's say it's 60 degrees out, you just put that bad boy at 44, and then you drive through my desert here in Vegas and it's 100, you're gonna blow up that tire. So after that, the NTSB, National Transportation Safety Board, said that they had to find something to figure out how to do the tire pressure monitor. Now, prior to that, Corvettes were one of the first vehicles to use it. They had this really interesting thing. It was this very large band that went around the rim, and it had like this little battery box inside it. Very big, very large, and if you're not careful doing the tire, you'll break that box, and I forgot how much it was, but it was expensive.
And it's inside the tire.
Inside the tire to actively monitor the pressure. So now we've gotten considerably smaller. In my mind, there's basically two styles. GM uses one that's a real thick valve stem rubber, and it basically pulls in. Like if you've ever changed a valve stem, you feed it through the hole, you pull on it, and it seats. The other style are the bolt-on. The bolt-on are this little paddle about that big, and it goes inside the tire, and you have a couple of seals and a stem. You can recognize those on your car because when you go to air up your tire, it'll have a little steel valve or a little metal valve stem as opposed to having the regular black rubber one. Last but not least, the fourth way that Chevy messed around with in the past was they monitored the tire pressure based off of the ABS. So what it did is the ABS computer watches the wheel speed. So let's say you're braking, you lose traction on one wheel, the ABS says this wheel's going 9 miles an hour, all these other are going 10. We're going to release the other brakes and grab once all the brakes meet the same speed. A flat tire travels slower than a full tire. So it watches the wheel speed. If it sees whatever percentage out and it hasn't deemed it to be a braking issue.
Wouldn't a flatter tire travel faster?
I
think.
No, it's dragging. It's dragging. There's a lot
Oh, there's more drag on it.
Yeah.
All right.
You're getting a higher, larger patch on the ground too.
All right.
So the wheel diameter
creating more
becomes
drag on it.
smaller.
All right.
And maybe it is fast, maybe it's slow. Well, either way, you know what? Brain fart. It's 4th of July.
The wheels.
I'm not wearing a mechanic shirt today, so I can be off a little bit.
Yep.
Either way, it was tracked by the ABS. I don't think it was the greatest system in the world. The new systems they use have that little paddle. It has a 10-year lithium battery. It transmits to little pickups inside of each wheel well, and even the new cars will tell you your pounds, your tire pressure in each wheel. Now, when you get that done, some cars require an initialization after you do a tire rotation, because if you do a tire rotation, it's going to tell you that your front tire has 23 and your back one has 30. And then you go to fill up the front tire, and then you look and your back one has 44 and your front one still has 23.
Huh.
Boring topic, I know, but it's still important nonetheless. You got coffee there, Eben. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? You okay? Are we gonna live? So that's basically it. Those are our TPMS systems, and it's designed to keep you safe. because a low tire is a dangerous tire here in Vegas. As soon as summer starts getting, it starts getting real hot, you'll go down the 95 freeway or the 215, you'll start seeing tire treads on the side of the road. I mean, I'm sure you've seen them before, all up in
They're all over the place.
It's just like, it's
I got
like,
one.
It's
so,
a massacre.
So I'm surfing down the 215 last summer. I'm in my Corvette with my target top off, and I'm just boogieing down, probably, you know, going 65 miles an hour, and and just kind of in the zone, and I see this like expedition smoking, and all of a sudden it drops its schnuts, and all these metal parts come out with fluid, and it dropped its whole like differential in the transmission.
Is that like having a hemorrhoidal blowout
It
or
was
something?
like a
Oh my gosh.
There was all this gear lube, and I was just completely in the zone, and I just moved past all this metal shrapnel.
Oh my gosh.
It would have totally destroyed
You jumped
the whole...
around the grenade.
Yeah, I know, it was like,
Nice.
it was a total grenade. It would have just shredded the car.
Holy cow. I mean, that was their first attempt at death in the Corvette. So, yeah, no, so just remember, most all places will inflate your tires to the correct pressure. Most all places, if you come to my shop, even though I don't do tires, and I'm sorry telling you all this stuff about tires, all I can do for you is add air. But I'm more than willing to tell you where to go get some tires. I'm more than willing to tell you where to go get air pressure checked, including myself. Also, last but not least, see if we can squeeze this in. We're at time. We need to talk about suspension and alignments. That's a really good follow-up for tires.
Let's do it.
So next week we're going to talk about suspensions. We'll cover shocks, struts, alignments. We can even go with axles and
Sway
stuff.
bars.
Sway bars.
All right, sweet.
Oh my. Upper control arms and bushings.
All right.
Woo-hoo.
All right.
Torsion bar suspension and coil over and springs.
Independent.
Ah!
All right.
Independent rear suspension. Ah! Okay. All right.
So now we got to
All right.
give them a bonus trick.
Ooh. Okay.
So I'm going to show you guys how I shrink my deck down. Sometimes I'm told it's just too big, so you just got to make it smaller sometimes. So I'm going to crush it down a little bit. Boom. Little teeny weeny bit smaller. Crush it down more. Little teeny weeny bit smaller. And now we'll stretch it out again.
Stretch it out.
Stretch it out. Let's see. Now
there we go.
Jeff's going to do something.
Well, even I'd like you to join me for
Yeah,
a snack,
let's
sir.
do it. All right.
We have ourselves $50 now.
All right.
I actually like $50. I feel like the compound in a $50. Take a bite. Take
All
a
right.
bite. The compound in a $50 is considerably tastier than pennies. Even these I feel like they have too much. I like them so much.
Oh my God.
They taste so good, but sometimes the shit gets stuck in my teeth.
Oh my God.
You still? Wait, I got extra. Nice,
Oh my God.
nice. So I like to hang on to that.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's awesome.
Thanks, Jeff.
Tasty, good snack. Kids, don't try this at home.
Yes. And watch the ace of spades.
Ooh,
All right. So Jeff could have shuffled them.
I
Watch,
coulda.
I'm gonna rub nice and light, using all me magical powers, like one of those me leprechauns. There it is.
nice, nice.
So that's a good
Fantastic.
quickie.
I like that. I
Gotta
like
do
that.
quickies.
All right, so I got one more.
Yep. Jeff's gonna do the grand
One more.
finale.
This is one of my
Yep.
all-time super favorites. Buy me 10 seconds. I'm looking for all me.
All right.
All
So I
me
want to
money.
make a little cheers to all the virgins out there. Thanks for nothing. And I want to make a little cheers for a little peace and quiet.
Cheers.
If she gives me a peace over there, I'll be quiet.
I doubt that.
I know. She
All right,
will.
so it's our favorite thing. Who likes money?
I do.
You like money.
Yeah.
You want to see something awesome
See
with
it.
money. Okay, so we're going to take our dollar bill right here. Okay. We're going to fold it ever so carefully. Okay. Now watch. This happens quicker than you can even imagine. I have no idea. Yeah, right? I have no idea how exactly this works. But for some reason, It works every single time.
How the heck did you do that, Jeff?
Every single time. I don't know.
That's good.
So yeah, that's it.
I'm sure Jeff will be showing a lot of people at the garage, so definitely come over if you're
Yeah.
in town.
And if
Yep.
you're in town, here's the thing: if you go outside the garage, it's not a joke. It says magician on duty. That's not a lie. And there will always at least be one magician there. Sometimes we have guest magicians show up. Shout out to my homie the Shocker and Bizarro. Boom. I've had Will Bradshaw there. Famous Chris Bentz. I've had Alan Ackerman. I've had my twin Corey Laughlin. I'm just going to drop all these names.
Do it.
Yeah, why not?
These are some of the best magicians in the world.
Right. David Blaine, he doesn't even know who I am, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Let's wrap it up here. We're live here from the district in Green Valley Ranch at the Coffee Bean. I got Eben here with Synthetic Oil Protection. I'm Jeff with Express Lube and Auto Repair. We're at 5400 East Tropicana. Go ahead, drop your phone number first. Eben, what's your phone number?
702-472-3614. You can call me anytime. However, I have my phone on airplane mode when I'm doing filming, so definitely text me. And when I have time, I'll get back to you. If you send me a voicemail, sometimes these voicemails just disappear. So, a little sketchy.
Text is best.
Text is a boo-boo.
Yeah, and then on that for me, I'll give you the shop line. Shop line's good during business hours, 8 to 6, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 on Saturday. And we got a surprise coming up a couple of weeks. We're going to do Sundays.
Oh my God.
We're going to do Sundays, so we are going to have a wide open schedule. We mentioned we want to get some diesel oil changes through. I got two of my toughest, biggest islanders working on a Sunday. So we will have some muscle to be able to handle some diesel oil.
And we're also, Jeff and I are thinking about putting together a killer diesel meetup at the garage.
Yeah.
Where we'll have some super dope underground diesel trucks.
Yeah.
Now beware out there. Don't underestimate an all-wheel drive diesel truck. Some of these trucks are making 11 wheel and 1850 wheel torque, and they'll scrub off a 2-second flat 0 to 60. So anybody out there just cutting off a big diesel truck, watch it. Some of these diesel trucks are scary fast.
I have a request.
Yes, Jeff has a request.
Are you ready? This request is from Julio.
Hello.
On Matterhorn. Are you ready? Eben, you
Yes.
ready? 1, 2,
3.
Ah, yes.
Oh my God, beautiful.
Yes, get it.
Beautiful technique,
Some
Jeff.
PI slap right there for you. It's a new one, but we got it.
Oh my
so,
God.
all right,
that was
guys.
fast.
We'll see you next week. Well, I'm sure we'll have some videos in the interim. So thank you for joining us. And the phone number for me, if you want to text me, text line is 702-907-9227. Text me anytime. I'm not going to answer you when I'm asleep. If you want to call the shop, again, 702-433-5823. That's the shop line. We're there all the freaking time. So let us know. Schedule your next appointment with us. Awesome.
Cheers to protection, protection, protection.